Hi, Nursery team. I am here to talk to you about something awesome, and that is discipline. Hi, I'm Pastor Hannah. I'm the children's pastor at Oasis. If I haven't got a chance to meet you yet, then I'd love to come see me in the kids' building or wave me down in the hall and let's chat. But today, we're going to talk about something very awesome, and that is how to discipline children ages 0 to 2. This is a really tricky age because a lot of times kids are just starting to learn to communicate. Your 2-year-olds might be a lot more able to express themselves verbally than, say, a 6-month-old. But there still are some things that we can do in the classroom in order to create order. One of those things is routine. I know that doesn't sound like discipline, but what discipline is it's teaching children way to behave. You're teaching children what the rules, what the expectations are. And when you have a routine, kids get used to, when I come into the classroom, this is what happens. After that, this is what happens. So when you have a clear routine and a clear schedule for the kids, it really cuts down on a lot of the chaos and discipline issues you might run into at this age group. Your routine should be posted on the wall, so please follow it. Please make sure that you are following the things that have been set out before you by your nursery coordinators. Okay, so you're following the routine, everything's going great, and all of a sudden, little baby Joy has decided that she's just not having it anymore. She's going to start crying. She's going to start crying over apparently nothing, and you are going to immediately try to redirect that crying. Because one thing you know when you work with babies is when one starts crying, they all start crying, and it's super exciting. So you're going to do all sorts of little things to distract baby Joy from the tears. You might blow bubbles, you might sing her a song, you might change whatever activity you're doing to something different, have her look out the window. But Joy has decided she really is not having any more of this time with you or with the other kids, and she just needs her mommy. And she has now been crying for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, if the baby has not stopped crying, please flag down one of your nursery coordinators or directors and have them help you, or seek help from another volunteer. If that volunteer who's also working in the nursery can't help you calm down baby Joy, it's now time to call the parent. If a child's been crying for longer than 5 minutes, you are 100% fine with calling a parent. Unless the parent has expressed to you that they are trying to get Joy acclimated to the nursery and you're willing to let the crying go on for an extra few minutes, that is your call. But 5 minutes is our rule of thumb here at Oasis. If a child is crying for 5 minutes or longer, we call the parents. And that's just because we want you to remain sane. We want you to be able to love all these babies. We want you to be able to hold them, to play with them, to sing with them, to read scriptures to them, to read Bible stories with them. And that is very difficult when you have one child who is just hysterical. It's not great for the child, and it's not great for the parents. You're going to give a parent a peace of mind to know after 5 minutes, they're going to call me. I know they're not going to let my baby cry for a full hour. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for helping our parents have a peace of mind while we watch them. But what about our 2-year-olds? What about our kids that are old enough to start to understand that there are consequences to our actions, and we are going to expect you to be kind. We're going to expect you to not run around dumping toys all over the floor. So again, with this age group, the best thing you can do is redirection. They have the attention span of a 2-year-old at age 2 and a 1-year-old at age 1. And that attention span is about 1 to 2 minutes. That's about the length of their attention span on average. There's always going to be the exception to that rule. So here's some things you can do to redirect your kids if they're having a moment. One of your kids has decided they're going to run through the room dumping out toys. One thing you can do is offer to play a game with them. Oh, I see that you just really want to have some fun. Can we play a game? I'm going to ask you to find a specific colored object. You're not going to say it like that. You're going to be like, can you find a red toy and bring it back to me? I think the red toys are all hiding. So give them something dynamic, something specific that they can do that's going to basically redirect. It's going to cause them to stop focusing on dumping all the toys out and start focusing on what you're doing. Maybe it's blowing bubbles. Maybe it's saying, oh, let's look out the window and see if we can find a cow. So things don't have to be big. They don't have to require a lot of work. But redirection is going to be one of the best tools in your tool belt at this age. All right, redirection didn't work. You're going to be like, nope, you cannot do that. You're going to give a firm word that they can understand that tells them that what they're doing is not safe, it's not okay, and it's going to hurt. No, baby, you cannot hit your friend. We use gentle hands. So you're going to end your statement with what you want. Because if you do not, all they're going to hear is the negative statement, and that's what they're going to remember. They're going to hear the word hit. They're going to hear the word no. And those are the words they're going to repeat, and those are the things that they're going to do. So instead of ending with those words, end with words like gentle hands, or this is how we do gentle hands, and you have them do gentle hands on your arm. You want to show them clearly what your expectations are, even at 1 and 2, even in the infant room where you're going to run into very few behavioral issues, because between the ages of 0 and 2, kids are very independent players. They may occasionally play with a friend or occasionally play next to a friend, but for the most part, play is going to be parallel. They want to play next to each other. They don't really want to share their toys. You can encourage taking turns. If you have 2 children fighting over the same toy, I would say something like, oh man, Sally, I know you really want to play with that car, but right now it's busy. When Jill is done playing with the car, she will share it with you. So let them have a sense of comfort in knowing that you see that they're upset and that you'll do your best to resolve the situation. This age group, discipline is very on the fly. It's very exactly what they need in that moment. If you have a child that is causing you significant discipline issues, I would strongly encourage you to speak with one of your nursery coordinators or directors for advice on how to deal with that child, because often things can be solved with simple solutions. Sometimes it might even be recognizing a child who's doing what you do want when you're next to the child who's doing what you don't want. So Billy has decided he is going to dump toys. And Sally is sitting on the floor choosing to pick up some toys that Billy has dumped. Will you say, oh, Sally, you are picking up those toys so nice. Do you guys see how Sally is cleaning up these toys so fast? Look at how she's picking them up. Thank you, Sally. Or you're in circle time. Same thing. Pay attention to those children that are listening, that are responding to the story, because kids love attention. And when you give that positive attention to those kids that are listening, the ones that are distracted might shape up faster than you might expect, because they want you, their teacher, to just love on them and to pay attention to them. Kids love to be heard at this age. They love to feel affirmed. They love to feel safe. And you provide that atmosphere. You provide a place where kids can have fun with other kids, where they can be loved, where they can have a snack, where they can hear music, because Lord knows they don't want to be in the main service. They'll get in there with their parents and be like, there's nothing to do. We're going to pull the pens out of the back of the chair and start drawing on furniture. So thank you for creating a Christ-like atmosphere for our babies and for giving their mommies a chance to have their arms free so that they too can worship. We could not do Oasis without you. So thank you so much for all the time and love you give our babies.